What up, everyone? Thank you for coming back to my channel. As always, I do appreciate it. Well, the end is upon us. All the members of the O Block gang that participated allegedly, but now pretty much certain, in FBG Duck's murder, they have been found guilty. And they are awaiting sentencing, and it's pretty much a mandatory life sentence. No one's really expecting anything else. And for the crime that they committed, that is a fitting sentence, especially in the way that they did it in front of everyone in a crowded shopping area. Now, as a young man that committed crimes and went to prison when I was a teenager, a part of me does feel bad that they were not able to learn from a mistake that they made and then turn their life around. These guys are, like I like to say, some people are gonna be examples for the rest of us or for the generation that follows them. And unfortunately, these young men are that. They are examples for people in their neighborhood, people that know them, their younger siblings, people that associated with them, people that looked up to them when they were at the height of their notoriety. This is what you don't do, okay? They won't get a chance to get it right. They won't get a chance to get back out and try to do something with their lives, to try to have a positive end to their life. Their life is over. Now, granted, they are alive, but when you're in prison, your life is over, especially if you're never getting out. If you're never getting out, life over pretty much. Yeah, your mom is gonna always most likely come see you and send you money and, answer your phone calls, but that's about it. Give it a few years, the people that were riding with you, they kind of had your back, or maybe had some kind of hope that you might somehow finagle your way out of it. They're moving on because there's no more hope left. And I just want to add, all of these guys have to feel really stupid that they just jumped at the call, because allegedly what happened, and I'm saying allegedly just because, but they've been convicted, so I guess I don't really need to say that, but I'm just going to say it anyway. So allegedly, one of these guys actually saw FBG Duck in the shopping area, and allegedly, again, from what was being said, FBG Duck was having some relations with his baby mom or whoever, and the guy was jealous of that. He was mad. He was hating on FBG Duck. And so he called these guys and said, "Hey, Duck is over here right now. Come get him." Sat back and watched it happen, allegedly. Now, how big of a fucking fool do you think that guy feels like right now? You got your dumb ass put in prison for a long ass fucking time, all because your girl, your baby mom, whoever it was getting clapped up by FBG Duck. And guess what she gonna be doing now? Getting clapped up. And ain't nothing you can do about it now. Ain't nobody else you can call, jackass. But again, that's a young man's mistake. I hate to say it, but a lot of us young men may have fallen for something like, well, I wouldn't have done that. I was never that kind of guy, like jealous over women. I've never been that kind of guy, but I may have very well been somebody who jumped in the car though. Even though I've never done anything like this, but I'm just saying I was very gullible. So, that's what makes me sympathize with these guys slightly, just because I understand that they were probably misguided from their youth, from childhood. They probably had very little positive influences in their lives. Most of the things that they looked up to was probably negative. everything that they strived for in life was probably negative, or not everything, but mostly. And the area that they grew up in did not help. So a part of me is like, damn, another group of young black men bite the dust to the system. Another group of young black men taken out, no longer able to contribute anything positive. But fortunately, they can no longer contribute anything negative, and that's what the penal system is for, to stop us from contributing more negativity and violence to the outside world. But I saw Mama Duck, as she's called, give an interview. She said that even after the verdict was read, some of these guys, family members, were yapping at her, talking about, well, at least, my brother or my son or my cousin, whoever, he's still alive, Duck is not, and these types of things. Just, and so when you listen to that, you can just imagine the household, the people that were around these guys. For them to have people that would, after they get found guilty of this, for them to have people that would have the audacity to say something like that to a mother who lost her child at the hands of their family member or friend or associate, even, whatever the case may be. That just goes to show you, that's all the more evidence that these guys likely, they hardly stood a chance at doing anything positive with their life. They would have most likely, and who knows, I don't know the history of these. I'm not going to say whether or not maybe they all have been to prison and just got out and said they were going to continue to live the life. A lot of people decide to do that. But I will say that being in prison, it does, if you have any sort of drive to do something with your life, that gets awakened. It should, when you're in prison and you're like, because I know I was like, listen, I cannot. I remember like it was yesterday, looking around at older guys. I was in my 20s, and I was looking around. There was a guy in his 50s. He had been to prison like 5 times, and he was just yapping off, telling me all these stories about how prison was not the same as it was back in the day, and the young niggas that made the prison soft, and and I was like, bro, why don't you stay your old ass home then? But at the same time, I remember that day saying, I don't care what I gotta do, I'm not gonna be this guy. I'm not gonna end up in and out of this place all my life talking to some other young dude when I'm in my 50s about how I've been in and out of prison. Now, when you kill someone, you typically, and I have to say rightfully, forfeit your freedom. Okay, especially in a sense like this, where you guys got the car loaded up. They had all sorts of evidence. You guys loaded up, went and just bodied this dude in front of everyone, scared the whole area. Okay, and allegedly there was a $100,000 payment by King Von, who is dead. So King Von allegedly would have been at the head of this whole RICO. He would have gotten his life sentence also. From what I understand, they were mentioning Dirk's name. So who knows if this is the end of that, or if we're going to see something happen with Lil Durk a little bit later. But like I said, there you have it. This is the end. This is the end. These guys were living it up when King Von was alive, and he was making all his songs and repping his old block gang, and they thought they were untouchable and they could just do what they wanted, and they were hyped up enough to go commit a crazy ass crime like this. King Von gets killed. There's no more money, I guess, for lawyers. These guys got paid allegedly $100K, and however they had to split that up, 5 or 6 ways. Probably blew it. I'm sure they weren't thinking about doing anything to flip it or put it to the side to possibly have to pay for a lawyer, because from what I understand, only one of them had a actual paid attorney. The rest were relying on public pretenders, and so it's no surprise. I mean, it's no surprise because this was a stupid crime. There was a lot of evidence against them, and they honestly deserve to get caught. This is not something that they should have gotten away with, and I'm glad they didn't. Honestly, I just wish that, looking at things from the perspective of a person that has done things in the past and paid for them through the penal system, I wish they would have never even took this route. I wish they could have done something much less and learned from their mistakes. Because there's no coming back from this. There's no way to have a life after this. This prison is gonna be where they spend the rest of their lives. And that's sad. That is sad. And that's the sad reality for a lot of young black men coming up in these poor areas, gang-ridden areas, violent-ridden areas, with no real positive influences. They really don't see ways out. And with this kind of lifestyle being glorified, this is the end result. But like I said, this is what happens. Anyhow, thank you all for coming back to my channel. I really do appreciate it, as always. Leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about this whole ordeal. Tell me how you feel about my commentary on this. Until next time, we have to stay safe so we can stay free.